Yes, everybody, I bought another Amy Winehouse Back to Black record. Because I was so disappointed in the remixes album, this just came. I bought this on eBay, and it just came in the mail. I'm so excited. Amy Winehouse. Yes, it's Back to Black, but it's just not just any Back to Black. It is 1 LP pink vinyl. Limited pink vinyl, limited edition. Here we go, Dana.
What?
I'm going to uncellophane the Amy Winehouse record. I'm uncellophaning. It's a word, I know. I made up a word, but I'm going with it because I think it works. Here we go. There it is. And I don't know, call me weird, but I do like, I mean, black vinyl is cool, but this is, stuff like this is just usually limited edition. And it just looks so cool. Whoa. Look at that. Back to black. Pink is the new black. I know, before orange is the new black was a thing. It was pink is the new black. Like an old punk rock thing. Side 1 has a little marbliness to it. Very cool. And paper sleeve. Yeah, whatever. Well, I have a better sleeve for it. 2019 this came out 2 years ago, and you can still get one of these pink copies, at least in my city, at Target exclusive. Anyway, Amy Winehouse. Some of you may be thinking, Russ, you're a sober type, right? You're a recovered addict. Why would you celebrate or collect music by a woman whose biggest hit was about not going to rehab, who sadly passed away at 27? Because, you know, the song Rehab, she had been to rehab before, like many of us. I had been to rehab. I got out of rehab for alcohol and got into methamphetamine and crack cocaine, which wasn't better. For me, it's something deeper. It's right. There's so much emphasis on getting sober without the mental health aspect to it, and some rehab centers are doing a great job at that. These guys save people's lives, all right? Getting people sober, even just getting people sober, right? Just getting people, that's a big thing. If you've been to rehab and you've been to rehab, there's stuff underneath it. There's a mental health aspect, I believe, that's not. There needs to be way more emphasis and research on it. I'm not gonna say that all rehab is bad, but some of it's just real shallow and focuses on just getting people sober, which I don't, you know, long term, you gotta deal with your demons. You gotta deal with what drives you, if that's what you struggle with, towards self-destruction. I've always been a kind of a redundant addict. Lately, my addiction has been vinyl. So I've got lots and lots of vinyl, lots of shelves to fill up here. I still drink today. I like to have a few beers. I feel I have self-control in that area where I didn't used to. I remember saying that I could never drink again, that I have a disease. And okay, you know, addiction is a disease. It's actually classified as a disease. I believe that it has more to do with depression, which is also a disease, anxiety. These are the things that fuel addiction for me. Would I say rehab saved my life? No, I wouldn't. But what's the good things I got out of rehab? I was so young, I was like 17. But I realized going through your life, I heard a comedian say this too, this isn't something I came up with, but I thought the analogy was so great. feeling like a three-legged dog most all your life, and then you realize you're sitting in a room full of three-legged dogs. Like, that was pretty cool. Also, my understanding of spirituality, and had a lot of religious baggage and damage, and just realizing that there is God, a cosmic force, whatever you want to call it, the higher power, something that's bigger than me, something that's enveloping me, something that, you know, you could even define as love. Entering into other meetings later could have saved my life, possibly. I guess it was all part of the energy and rhythm of taking care, realizing there's something bigger than myself out there during some of the hardest, toughest times in my life. And some of you may be thinking, all right, Russ, well, then how come my friend passed away, or my family member, brother, sister, mother, father, you know, best friend? What do we do with that? How come you're here and they are gone? Well, I'm not here because I just chose to go to rehab. For me, it was rehab or jail when I was 16. My rehab story: my mom divorced my dad when I was 7, remarried when I was around, it was about 8. We moved to a trailer park, a white man's ghetto. My stepfather was both physically and mentally abusive towards my mom. You could say he was verbally abusive towards me. I didn't see him a whole lot. He was a long-haul truck driver. This was this guy. But when he was home, he didn't talk to me a whole lot. I could probably count, you know, on my fingers how many words he spoke to me while they were married as a kid, right? I moved to Alaska with my dad for a few years. Then I had my stepmother in that situation. That didn't work out so well. So I'll come back, and he says, well, if Russ comes back, then, you know, he can't stay here. And she goes, well, I'm out. So she left my stepfather, my first stepfather, and you're just real jerk. So I kind of how we thought of him. So my friends and I, when I was about 16 years old, a friend of mine had a car. We drove out to his place while he was on the road, you know. Stole all his booze. So he had an extensive supply of alcohol, and that's all we took was his booze. And I drank a half gallon of rum. I was maybe 100 pounds, soaking wet at the time, and I died. I actually had a drug alcohol overdose, and I died for like 2.5 minutes on the way to the hospital. My friend Tom, if it wasn't for him, I would be dead, because he saw that they were just gonna pour me out of the car. I had passed out, you know, partying all day, and my friend Tom saw blood coming out of my mouth and said we should call somebody, you know. And long story short, they called the ambulance, came, got me, and people say it's a miracle I'm alive. I don't know. This guy just wouldn't give up. My mom was in the ambulance. She got the call and came home, and so here I am. You know, and I'm not here because I chose to go to rehab and Amy Winehouse didn't. You know, it's really the grace of God. Go I, all right? Do I think Amy Winehouse is burning in hell somewhere? Like, I know, I don't believe in hell like that. Just for me, a lot of Christians take this metaphor of hell, and, you know, Jesus talking about, you know, in a couple of paragraphs, if you could sum up everything that's spoken about hell. It's Dante's Inferno is what it is. But my point is, I'm not here because I chose to go to rehab. No, I could have easily died at 16. If you struggle with addiction, you know, again, it's biggest thing you can say is, I need some help. I can't do this on my own. I have a problem, and that's okay. That's human. That's humility. That's reaching out and asking for help. And there's a lot of resources out there. The National Suicide Hotline, I'm gonna put a link, or in the description. Well, I'm not suicidal, Russ. If you're drinking out of control, it's like Ozzy Osbourne, I remember back in the 80s, had that song Suicide Solution. It was part of the whole satanic panic. The song is about alcoholism. The opening lines of that song are, wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. Suicide is slow with liquor. The song is about someone ending their life with alcohol. The slow suicide solution. Yeah, the National Suicide Hotline. But there's resources there where they can plug you in to like free mental health in this country, other meetings, other groups, people you can get around. Church, for me, was a good one. Not all churches, probably not even most churches, but there's spirituality for me was a huge one. Again, having people who are honest and can talk about their stuff in your life. I just, if you're struggling with addiction, I'm a kindred spirit, all right? And I'm glad you're still watching this if you are. Rest in peace, Amy Winehouse. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe. I don't know. This is, I didn't plan on getting this deep, but it's something near and dear to my heart. I have a place in my heart for addicts, broken people, people with baggage, people that don't trust anybody. We tend to trust each other, though. So, till next time, bye.